Well, I had this old fence post and this half of an off-road tire laying around, so I decided I'm going to build a Wing Chun training dummy, also known as a Mook Jong. Let's get started. I'm also going to use some of this old rope that I found in my garage. It ought to add to the project nicely. I determined which side I wanted to be the front of the post and then went ahead and made a couple marks based off of about a 40-degree angle from the center of the post. I then put my other mark about 14 inches below that. You can kind of see how everything lines up here and how I made those marks. I'll also be using that 1.5-inch poplar wooden dowel rod that's in the background there. Since I was using that 1.5-inch wooden dowel rod, I went ahead and drilled 1.5-inch holes through the fence post. I went ahead and used a standard paddle bit for this part of the project. Some scrap 2x4 lumber I had laying around was used to make the preliminary part of the base for this project. Just something to stabilize it from falling side to side. Here you can see how I attached that base with some screws, and I went ahead and started to paint this project before I went any further, and you'll see why here in the next part of the video. It's time to use that old tire, or half a tire as the case may be. I went ahead and marked the center of it and then marked an H shape in the top of the tire. To make the next part of this project fairly easy, I went ahead and drilled a bunch of pilot holes along that H marking on the tire, as you can see. Using an angle grinder, I went ahead and cut out along those lines that I'd marked there on that old off-road tire. As you can see, I slipped the tire over the post through that hole that I'd cut in it and attached it with some lag bolts and washers. This creates a very heavy foundation for this training dummy and also gives it a little bit of spring front to back while it's being used, and that's kind of what I was looking for in this particular project. I went ahead and wrapped the post with that rope that I found lying around. Wrapped it in two different sections there, as you can see. Kind of give you an idea of how that was done there. And here's a kind of an overall version of what the dummy looks like at this point. We still have not attached the arms. That'll be in the next part of the video. Having now attached the arms, you can see what the dummy is going to look like. At some point, I'll probably either attach a strike pad to the top of the dummy there in that spot at the top of the post, or just get myself some more rope and wrap that part as well. I like the way the rope looks on this. The arms of the dummy are not pinned in any way. They're a tight fit, but they can be adjusted for length. And this is a final overall view of how this homemade Wing Chun Mook Jong training dummy turned out. Thanks for spending a little over 4 minutes of your time with me today. I very much appreciate it.